All right, so the guided practice today is going to be a little bit different than what we have been doing. Um, if you watch the other video, you will know that we are going to be writing an SCR this week. So not a full DBQ. And actually, you guys have already been writing these CEA paragraphs like every week, so you've been doing great with those. What we're going to do this week is you are going to have 2 of those paragraphs, and you're going to have a context and thesis statement before, and that's an SCR, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is look at the historical background of what was going on and provide some information for you to understand these documents better, right? So we are going to read 2 documents, and in each time you read them, you're going to be looking for the answer to our essential question according to that document. But first, here's some historical context about the Bandung Conference that was done in 1955, and that just provides some information about how Asian and African countries were responding to the imperialism of the time from the European countries in the United States. Okay, so you can read this on your own, and you can also click here to find out some more information about it. But what I'm going to do with you guys is actually read document 1 here. And as I am reading, you are going to be over here answering questions 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Then we're going to do the same thing for document 2. As a reminder, our essential question is, why would formerly colonized nations want to resist the control of European nations? So why would countries that used to be under imperialist rule, European rule, for instance, India of last week, why would they want to resist that control that they've been under? And here's the thing, you guys could probably answer some of these questions now, right? Like you already have some background knowledge about this. But what we want to do now is read the document 1, and according to this document, where can we find evidence that shows why these formalized countries would want to resist colonial rule? Okay? So document 1 is from the Declaration of Independence of Democratic Republic of Vietnam, written in 1945. The Declaration of the French Revolution, made in 1791, on the rights of man and the citizen states, all men are born free and with equal rights, and must always remain free and have equal rights. So this is based out of the French Revolution that ended, well, French Revolution was weird, but this declaration was created in this time, and this is what it says, okay? Those are undeniable truths. Nevertheless, for more than 80 years, the French imperialists have violated our country and oppressed our fellow citizens. They have acted contrary to the ideals of humanity and justice. So Vietnam is writing this because at this point, the French were controlling Vietnam. And so the Vietnamese people were writing to the French government using their own words that they had written centuries ago, right? And using their own words to say, you're not owning up to what you have written here. This is part of the list of things France has done to Vietnam. 1, in the field of economics, they have cheated us as much as they can, impoverished our people, and devastated our land. 2, they have robbed us of our rice fields, our mines, our forests, and our raw materials. 3, they have invented unfair taxes and reduced our people, especially our peasantry, to a state of extreme poverty. 4, they have exploited our workers without mercy. For these reasons, the whole Vietnamese people, animated by a common purpose, are determined to fight to the bitter end against any attempt by the French colonialists to reconquer their country. The entire Vietnamese people are determined to mobilize all their physical and mental strength to sacrifice their lives and property in order to safeguard their independence and liberty. So I just read this, and you can go back through again. But as you're reading it, you're looking at this specific highlighted quote and answering, do you think the Vietnamese people supported the French controlling their nation? Based off of this highlighted part, then you're going to put here they either did or did not. Remember to highlight one of those. 9, why does Vietnam want to resist France's control? So this ties into our essential question. This is answering our essential question when you complete this question, or when you complete this answer here, and highlight a piece of evidence that supports that. Now, you know, for writing an SCR, this is preparing you to write your SCR. So you're going to answer this question and find a piece of highlighted information. Now we're going to do the same thing for document 2, but obviously it's a different document, right? But you're going to do the exact same thing. Remember, you were thinking, why do these formerly colonized nations want to resist European rule? Okay, so while I'm reading document 2, you want to be thinking about that in your head. So document 2 is a speech from Anwar al-Sadat, okay, and it's called the Afro-Asian Solidarity and the World Mission of the Peoples of Africa and Asia. And it says it's the address, that means like a speech delivered by him at the first Afro-Asian Peoples Solidarity Conference in 1957. More than 2 years ago, 29 governments of the independent states convened together at the Bandung Conference to declare to the world at large that the tide of history has changed its course, and that Asia and Africa, which had been Europe's common playground, where invaders took what they pleased or demanded what they wanted, have now become free world powers, majestic and serene, with a decisive role in shaping the future of the whole family of nations. So the countries or the governments that went to the Bandung Conference declared that they are no longer under Europeans' rule. And when they say Europeans' common playground, meaning that like Europeans were able to go to these places and just kind of do whatever they want. It's not like they were out there like on physical swings, right? But the idea is that they could just do whatever they wanted and go play and have fun and take the resources, take their money, and there were no consequences. It is evident, therefore, that the Bandung Conference was not a worthless event, but rather a huge success, which led to the awakening of the peoples of Africa and Asia and roused them from their slumber to solve the problem of their very existence and survival, and to resume the struggle for the recovery of their liberty and freedom. No doubt each country has its own particular problems that are probably best solved by that country itself, but at the same time, there's not a shadow of a doubt also that it is within the power of each of us to extend a helping hand to his brother in time of need, in an endeavor to assist in solving his problems, be it only in the form of a genuine friendly counsel or an expert advice to help our fellow formerly colonized nations. So that was a very long paragraph, but the people who attended the Bandung Conference were very successful in defeating the hold that European countries had on them. And so now they're saying that we need to go help others. Okay. So based off this article, why do you think smaller nations came together at the conference? And then based on the document, why do formerly colonized nations want to resist European control? What did they talk about in here that Europeans were doing that they wanted to gain control back of their country? And then you're going to find a piece of evidence from this and just put it in here. So the way that you can do this too, well, it says to highlight. So you're going to highlight that piece of evidence. Now, I am going, because this is a long video, I'm going to stop this and put another video in here for the independent practice.